Good evening. I want to welcome you all to the Irmo Town Council meeting, August 18th, 2026. It is now 6 p.m. And we're going to start with a very special inauguration ceremony. And if we could, I would love to have Venom and Andy come on forward. I hope we have both of them here. As you can tell, they are young and feisty. All right, today we gather for a moment that blends tradition, honor, and a touch of tail-wagging excitement. I didn't write this, folks. This is not just a swearing in, it's the formal recognition of a partnership built in trust, courage, and service. Our police canines are more than just dogs. They are officers, partners, and protectors. They run towards danger when others run away. They search tirelessly when every second counts, and they stand as a living reminder of the loyalty and bravery that comes in all shapes and sometimes with four paws. I want to take a moment to recognize the dedication of our handlers. These officers commit not only to their own safety and skill, but to the care, training, and well-being of their canine partners. This bond is forged through countless hours of training, early mornings, late nights, and unspoken understanding that they will always have each other's backs. Okay, handlers repeat. The dogs can't, so I'm going to let you repeat if you would, please. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully serve and protect the citizens of Irmo. And I will faithfully serve and protect the citizens of Irmo. Uphold the laws of this state. And care for and work alongside. My partner, Canine. With honor, respect, and dedication, so help me God. Congratulations. You guys have done a lot of work here, so let's have a round of applause. Canine units, we have been, he's already sniffing drugs. What's going on? Over here. These dogs are highly trained and will be continuing to be trained. And I just want to remind everybody that this is serious business. The state of South Carolina and local jurisdictions have lost, what, 5 canines in the last year and a half? 5 canines killed in action. These dogs are for real. And again, congratulations. Thank you very much. And we'll have a resolution at the end of the meeting. Congratulations. Thank you, guys. Okay, next up, we're going to open a public hearing. The public hearing is to receive comments regarding Ordinance 2614 to rezone 22 acres in the town of Irmo from LM Light Manufacturing to RN Negotiated Residential. The parcels TMS R03911 20-05-25 and 44 are located off Columbiana Drive near Wood Spring Suites, brought by the Planning Commission. This would allow for the construction of a 300-plus apartment units on the property. The public hearing B will receive comments regarding Ordinance 2616 of the Town of Irmo by adding a new section to the zoning ordinance establishing a 12-month waiting period for the resubmission of certain land use and zoning applications following denial by Town Council. This ordinance should amend Section 12.2 Administrative Procedures and Requirements of the zoning permit and would a new Chapter 12-2.3 to read as provided. Okay, that's the opening public hearing, and we have a variety of folks to sign up and to speak. Remember, you have 3 minutes. We'll have the timer on the screen, and everybody be civil and polite, and we should have no issues. So we welcome your feedback. First up, Joshua Taylor.
Yeah, I just want to comment on this workforce housing. It's a form of low-income housing in South Carolina, because in South Carolina, teachers, young professionals, and nurses make too much money to qualify for it. So this apartment would bring more bad elements into town. Those 2 hotels on Columbiana Drive have already brought transients into town. And this would also bring too much traffic in. The city of Columbia just already approved a 300-unit apartment complex across the bridge over there. So this would bring in around 1,000 vehicles right into a small area. And also this would bring more environmental damage. The environmental damage has happened over the past 10 years in this area. It's causing more flooding, it's caused damage to homes. And somebody recently lost their home from the flooding about 2.5 months ago. And the 2 neighborhoods that were built on the top of Winston-Salem, they're causing runoff that's affecting homes on Dreer Shoals Road.
Thank you. Adrienne Hetney.
Good evening. I've been a resident of Irmo for the past 25 years, and I feel that it's very inconsiderate of you all to even consider doing this to our neighborhood. It diminishes our property value, and as the gentleman just said, it decreases safety, adds unnecessary traffic to the area, and just removes our neighborhood feel. And most importantly, though, I feel that it is potentially illegal. When I first moved into my home back in 2001, we filed a lawsuit against Bradford Richardson Construction, and we won that lawsuit. Bobby Richardson Construction and Marion Richardson and Richardson Construction Company Incorporated. And that lawsuit was won again, and what was determined from that lawsuit is that there should be a permanent vegetated and evergreen planting berm at least 10 feet high at the crest, and the width shall be designed so as to provide a complete opaque buffer at maturity. Planning of this berm shall be approved by the Planning Commission, which it was in Section 4.5.7 of the Towning Zone Ordinance. This agreement not only went to the current owners, but also to the previous subsequent owners after that. And it shall run with the land. And I can read all of this. It's 10 facts on this. There shall be a berm construction on the defendant's property built in a manner consistent with the berm agreed to on the adjacent Continental property. The berm will be subject to the same specific obligations as the Continental Covenant dated 8/8/2002. The berm shall terminate at a place designated by the Town Commission and be graded in a fashion designated by the Planning Commission. The covenants may be enforced by the Town of Irmo for property owners in Fox Run subdivision. The owners of the property on which the berm is situated shall regularly maintain the berm, and the berm should be 75 feet of undisturbed, natural vegetated buffer from the terminus of the buffer to the property line. And the berm shall be permanent and completed within 180 days. And the engineering of the berm has been approved by the town county engineer. So I'm not sure if you all are aware of this or not at the time that happened. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, ma'am. Chris McCoy?
Good evening, Mayor Danielson and members of council. My name's Chris McCoy. I've lived on Battery Road for 21 years. My wife and I have raised our kids there. Part of that was wagon rides every day up and down the street and on Stanford Ridge as well. We've got 10 houses on Battery Road and about 14 on Stanford Ridge. I'm third house from the end of Battery Road. It's pretty much a dead end. And that affords residents on Battery Road and Stanford Ridge a lot of peace and the ability to use the streets without worrying about traffic. Adrian and Ken's kids across the street from us, we've lived 21 years across from them. The kids play outside, they play basketball, they play catch. People down the street got a toddler, push car, so on and so forth. So that would really disrupt our way of life on Battery Road and Stanford Ridge in a very negative fashion. If you've driven on Battery Road, you know that the intersection with Eastview is janky to begin with. You have to push all the way past the stop sign just to see if cars are coming on Eastview. There is a bus stop at the corner of St. Albans and Battery Road. Increased traffic would put kids at risk there as well. But not only that, we've got Columbiana Drive, where there's plenty of room in this blueprint plan to come up with an ingress and an egress that doesn't involve Battery Road. Thank you for the time. Thanks for your consideration.
Thank you. Megan Mathias?
Hi. I think there's really no need for this additional housing. When I did a quick Zillow search, I found 127 available units in the 15 existing apartment complexes in the Irmo area. Between those 127 available units, there's also an additional 97 single-family homes that are for rent in the Irmo area. On Zillow alone, that's 224 homes for rent within 3 miles of this proposed apartment complex location. Those are all in varying price points, they're all market rate, and the average rent for those, whether a 3-bedroom, whether it be an apartment or a single-family home, is all in market rate. There's really just no need for any more housing. If we look at the negative effects, let's just not forget every effect of traffic. This is gonna, there's so much traffic already. Everybody knows this. Why are we gonna put more traffic on Columbiana Drive, College Street, Lake Maria Boulevard, I-26? This is a bad idea. Our water systems that can't handle it. On Eastview alone, the water has been spraying here for 6 months. And apparently it's because the City of Columbia thinks it's cheaper to let it spray than to replace the junctions that air would build up or something like that. I'm not completely positive. But if that can't be fixed, putting an additional 300 units certainly isn't going to help. The roads, Eastview has between Battery Road and College Street. That's 0.2 miles. It's like a 30-second drive. There's at least 19 patches and potholes right there. If this is going to be emergency access and people are still parking on the street because we can't park on our lawns anymore, how's a fire truck going to get through here? The roads are like 24-ish feet and a fire truck needs like 25 or 26 just to make a safe turn. It's just a bad idea. And then if we find out that this could be illegal, if it's a 75-foot buffer that's needed and not 50, that's an entirely new issue. Are we going to open up the town to a lawsuit from everybody that's on Battery Road that was previously involved in another lawsuit with the previous developers? I think the right thing is just to say no at this point. Thank you.
Thank you. Francis Jackson?
Good evening. I'm here to speak for my grandchildren who I'm caring for right now. I've been a resident in Fox Run for over 20 years, and I picked this area because of the seclusion. Makes me feel safe. Now, just imagine 300 people going to work in the morning and coming home, and the children who are walking from home to the bus stop and back. It just gives me heart palpitations to even think of that. Or walking to their friend's house, or playing basketball. And the exposure of people who do not have good intentions with children. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Alicia Connor Bethel.
Good evening. My name is Alicia. Thank you
To
for
the
this
microphone.
time
Thank you,
to
ma'am.
speak. I live at 300 Battery Road. I am the last house on Battery Road at that dead end, along with my neighbor, who has my little girl there. Her house is directly across the street from mine. I'm all for growth, so long as growth actually doesn't cause hindrance and harm, and that's what I feel that this apartment complex could potentially do. As some of my neighbors have already stated, my first concern is for my children, my daughter who is 2. I use that dead end to let her ride her little bike, right there. That street is not wide enough for the amount of traffic that's going to come through there every day, all times of the day and night. It's just enough for our families to be able to park our vehicles. I don't know if you can see this picture very well. This is not even all the cars. What's going to happen next? Are you going to ask to take our property to widen the road for this? You cannot stop people from speeding. That's going to endanger our children. And then it's nothing for me to wake up and look at my Ring camera. I've lost count in the 2 years that I've been there, the amount of deer that have been in my front yard, in my backyard. You're going to run them off too? Where would they go? Then people from all walks of life. The potential for them to be traipsing on our properties. This could not have been the only property that this developer found to build some property, or some apartment, excuse me. I feel like the developer, even if they built the apartment somewhere else, they are still not losing anything. If you build it, they will come. The amount of noise is going to be astronomical. I work from home. I'm required to have a distraction-free, distraction-free, noise-free environment. So please, give this some thought.
Thank you, ma'am. Raquel Ruff. Raquel?
I also live on Stanford Ridge, the last house right before the woods back there. And like Alicia was saying, I can't imagine the traffic that would bring in there for our grandkids, for her kids. I mean, I can't even imagine it.
safety reasons, like she said, concerns with the different, we don't know what's going to be coming in, who's going to be coming in. So, yeah, I feel the same way.
Thank you, ma'am. That's it for the folks who have signed up. Is there anyone else who did not sign up who would like to speak? Hearing none, seeing none, thank you all. We will close the public hearing and call it the meeting to order. I'm going to ask that Guy Caskey come forward, please.
We're going to present today our service member of the quarter month. We're going to present you with a flag, flew over our Veterans Park, and we're going to thank you very much for your service to this country. And I want to remind folks exactly who this gentleman is and what he's done. I've known his mom and dad for close to 40 years. This is brief, but it tells a tale. Guy served from 2008 to 2018, active duty, 2008 to 2015, and USN Reserve, United States Navy from 2015 to 2018. He served with the SEALs Team 8 active and SEAL Team 18 under reserve. His rank and title, Special Operator First Class, that's known as SO1. Specializations, Special Operations Combat Medic, Sniper. Deployments, several areas of operation including Europe, Africa, and Central and South America. Guy is the current president of Irmo Lock Company and of Modern Locksmiths in their West Columbia, KC location. This is to you, sir, for your service to this country. And I would like you to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
I don't know if you have to give a speech, it was in the email, but just a quick comment. I grew up in the Irmo area. Obviously, the support of the town has always been important to our family and, providing a livelihood, but also, instilling, all the things that make service members, want to serve. Some people will throw out the term like, hey, you're a hero, right? I don't claim that title in any way. I'm just a humble servant and really appreciate everybody's, help in bringing us up, and I look forward to raising my 7-year-old son back there as well, and try to instill those as well. So this is where government happens. So, you may get caught up in social media and, national affairs, but this is where the rubber meets the road. And I think all the town council and the people who support the town have done a great job. So thank you guys for the opportunity. Thank you, sir. Come on. Quick photo real quick. Maybe a little nervous.
Sorry.
Okay, Councilman Ward, would you lead us in the invocation?
Sure thing. If you are the praying type, please bow your head. If not, please, I ask that you just take a moment of silence Heavenly Father, please grant our leaders wisdom, discernment, and clear minds to make fair decisions. For the integrity, I just pray that you guide them to act with honesty, truth, and a true heart to serve the people. And Lord, I ask for peace. It was just said that this is where the rubber meets the road. The things that we see in the news and on social media, the things that are happening at the national level, even the state level, this is our home here. And so just help us find peace and unity here in our community. In your son's precious name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Okay, approval of the agenda. Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Mayor? Move that we amend the agenda to include discussion on a deferral of the implementation of the flock camera contract pending state and federal legislation.
The motion, is there a second? Having not been second, the motion dies. Okay, next item up, reading of the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, thank you. Okay, reading of the minutes. Reading minutes of regular meeting of Irmo Town Council, July 21st, 2026. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, thank you. Meeting minutes for special meeting of Irmo Town Council, August 4th, 2026. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Report of standing administrative briefing. Mr. Crossland?
Mayor, members of council, we are working on a referendum coming up. Staff has identified September 16th and October 28th as public meetings at the Municipal building, which is to be right here. We plan on having some snacks and let the citizens come be informed, and we can talk informally and explain about our change of government. And we'll be creating mailings. We'll go out in the next week or two, during those 2 weeks. ICMA TV will be on site September 10th to film the town Irmo documentary. We're working on that questionnaire now. USDA has all the information they need for the town hall project. We'll have an update on that coming up shortly. There will be a new four-way stop sign at the intersection of Carlisle and Lexington. This DOT is working on that. When Young's Chapel gets out of church on Sundays, they're having issues with speeding cases and coming through there. Asset Technology is working on our new web address, irmosc.gov. We should have word on that here in the next few weeks also. We invited Charles Howell to come out with Land Plan Group to take a look at our amphitheater expansion progress, and I'll be able to present something on that here soon too. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, any questions? Jim?
Yes, just very briefly, you did have a conversation recently with DOT about Eastview and College Street and getting some attention paid to that area, correct?
I did.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Eastview will be taken care of soon.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'll have updates to present on that also.
Okay. Thank you. New in-town businesses. Councilor Coleman.
We have three. CEA Company LLC at 7302 Woodrow Street, right down the street here. Estacia Soft of America LLC at 130 Hunter Village Drive, Suite E. And Dutch Brothers LLC, 10603 Broad River Road. They have a brand new building there. It's pretty.
Did you get the other three? There are three others?
It turned out weren't quite within our boundaries, so.
The last three?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Makes sense. I didn't know what Hemlock was. Okay, next up, consideration of communications. We all set down front, if you would, please.
This is where we do the recognition of the employee of the quarter. Mike Sompel, are you here? Come on down, you can't hide.
Day off, by the way. Yeah.
Day off.
Just throwing that out there.
Day off.
Day off, yes, sir.
Step up here, step up here. This guy is a tireless worker. I've never seen that about all of our public works folks, but this guy especially. Council would like to recognize Mike Sompel for his outstanding service and dedication to the community. For more than 12 years, Mike has been a valued member of the Public Works Department, consistently demonstrating professionalism, commitment, and pride in his work. Recently, during a transition within the department, Mike stepped up to serve as foreman of the Public Works team, providing leadership, stability, and guidance to staff. Mike has been especially focused on the beautification and enhancement of the city's parks, with a particular emphasis on Moore Park. Through his efforts in leadership, residents and visitors alike have benefited from a cleaner, more attractive, and welcoming public space. This council sincerely thanks Mike for his years of dedicated service, his willingness to take on additional responsibilities, and his continued commitment to improving our community. We congratulate him on his contributions and look forward to his continued success in leading the Public Works team. And I would like to present this plaque to you, young man, and thanks to you. You can put this wherever you like. That will collect dust. Yes. But it will be somewhere prominently displayed in your home. All right. Congratulations. I appreciate it. We continuously and always get feedback from the public about our parks. It's because of you and the crew. Our parks look like. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike.
That's it. Yep.
All right. Now my favorite part of the meeting, community connections. Councilor Waldman.
Thank you. First up tonight is the Mission Lexington Mobile Food Pantry. This will take place tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. in the Irmo Town Hall parking lot. On Saturday, September 5th at 8:30 a.m., there'll be a race for recreation, 5K run walk. This is open to a lot of different age groups, from 10 years old and under up to 75. If you're interested and need more information, please contact Rusty Painter at 803-741-7272, extension 188. This will take place at the Friars Gate Park. Again, that's Saturday, September 5th. The Harbison Stingray swim team is forming now. They will swim between September 1st and April 29th, so this is throughout the whole season. If you're interested in registering, please contact the Harbison Community Center, and this is an opportunity for students to improve their swimming techniques and build speed and endurance, develop teamwork and friendships, and achieve personal bests. The town of Irmo will be presenting Jazz on Carlisle, music at the gazebo. This will take place at the Whit Klein Community Park, which is the park just across the street. These events will take place on the first and third Thursday of each month in September, October, and November from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The first event will be on September 10th. These are free and open to all. Food and beverage trucks will be there, and they're family and pet friendly. This is also it's being presented with the Cola Jazz Foundation. On Saturday, September 19th, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Seven Oaks Park, there'll be the Fall for Seven Oaks Crafts Fair. There'll be a lot of different items there available, and if you're interested, please visit icrc.net for more information. On Sunday, September 20th, from 1 to 4 p.m., there'll be Soggy Doggy Day and Fetch and Find Marketplace at the Saluda Shoals Splash Pad. This is $6 per dog. Tickets can be purchased online or at the event. And the Fetch and Find Marketplace will have pet-friendly treats and accessories and ice cream for human and pups available for purchase. On September 25th and 26th, we have the Lexington Health Irmo Okra Strut coming up in Moore Park. On Friday night, the Big Time Band will open, and Monsters of Yacht will be the headliner. On Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m., Elizabeth S. Taylor will perform. There'll be a family fun zone, lots of vendors and exhibitors. And Saturday morning at 9 a.m., the parade will start at Crossroads Middle School. On Sunday, September 27th, at Friars Gate Park Gym, there'll be the train ride that you'll never forget. This will be a sneaker ball, casual dress, wearing your favorite sneakers. This event is being sponsored by Friars Gate Neighborhood Hub and the Door Home Incorporated. Again, Sunday, September 27th from 2 to 5 p.m. If you're interested in participating, please RSVP to the Door Home 2019 at gmail.com. On Thursday, October 15th, from 5 to 8 p.m. in Moore Park, there will be the Irmo Food and Wine Festival. This is being put on by the Greater Irmo Chamber of Commerce in partnership with the town of Irmo. Advance tickets are $30 until Labor Day, and after Labor Day, the tickets will go up to $50. There's opportunities for vendor booths and sponsorships as well. If you're interested and need more information, please contact events at greaterirmochamber.com. On Saturday, October 17th, from 7 to 10 p.m. at the River Center at Saluda Shoals Park, the District 5 Foundation will be putting on Grooving for Good. This is a retro evening benefiting District 5 students and educators. Tickets are available. You can scan the QR code on this flyer or go to www.district5foundation.org to purchase tickets. This event is being presented by the town of Irmo, and we will have Erica Glover there as the MC. Again, there's a silent auction, dancing. It's a 70s and 80s theme event, food and drink and contests, and just a lot of fun to raise funds. And that concludes my community connections.
Thank you, Counselor. Okay, next item up, presentation by citizens for agenda items only. I have no one signed up for that, so we're going to move on. Item A, second reading of the Ordinance 2614 to rezone 22 acres in the town of Irmo from LM Light Manufacturing to RN Negotiated Residential. The parcels TMS R03911-05-25 and -44 are located off Columbiana Drive near Wood Spring Suites, brought by the Planning Commission. This would allow for the construction of 300-plus apartment units on the property. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Having been appropriately motioned, I'll open for comments. Counselor?
Can we get an update from the developer?
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Okay.
You want that? Want it first? Okay.
I think, yeah.
All right. You guys want to come up and give us a presentation?
There have been several substantial changes from first reading into second reading. The development team is here to give you, as you mentioned, a short presentation on those changes. You have received those as of this meeting, so any reference to this submitted concept plan would be as of August 18th. It would be as of today.
Thank you. Please introduce yourselves.
Good evening. My name is Seth Peterson. We are the applicants from Long Key Development. I have here tonight Brett Bassnight, also with Long Key. We have Patrick Livingston with CEC and Todd Anderson, who's the town's traffic engineer. I have in front of you, do you have the clicker? If not.
Seth, can you pull the microphone up a little further, please? Thank you.
So I have hard copies in front of you for what we're proposing tonight. And first I want to say I appreciate council's consideration of this project. And I also want to tell the community that we have listened to you and we have some pretty major updates that we're excited to talk about. We really genuinely want to put a project in front of you that is good for the community and additive. And so with these changes that we're proposing, I'm excited to present these. So just a quick update on what the project is. We are proposing a 318 maximum market rate multifamily community. We are applying for 50% of the mix as the Richland County Attainable Housing Program. There was a comment on this is low income. I just want to specify this is not Section 8, this is not voucher, this is 80 to 120 of AMI. Richland County provides those numbers. What are those numbers? That's somebody making $50,000 to $90,000. We've all seen inflation. It's crazy. This is giving people a discounted rent for hardworking people. And so I kind of take offense to saying this is a low income. This is not. This is a quality project. And also we're designating within that 10% for seniors, 55 and up. So again, I just want to talk through the major changes. If we can go to just the site plan, please keep going. One more. All right, thank you. So this was the site plan in July, and I want to point out a couple of things. Again, we listen to the community, we listen to feedback, and we're here to make pretty substantial changes. So I want to point out a couple of things on the July plan, and then we'll switch to August. So first off, the big ticket item is Battery Road. We heard everybody, we listened to y'all, and so what we're proposing, and I have a visual representation of this. Again, it's a rendering, but a representation of what Battery will look like. But what we're proposing tonight, which is a change from July, is an emergency-only access with a gate, with a true Knox gate system. And I'll show you a picture of what that looks like. So this would not be open to residents. This would not be adding any traffic to Battery. It would be totally closed. It will be open to emergency only with a gate. So fire truck, life safety, it would be in a major event. There would have to be a pretty catastrophic event to be used. But there will be a physical gate on Battery Road, and I'll show you a picture of that. Also, a couple of other things. I want to point out, if you could go to the next slide, it'd be great. So it's a little bit hard to see, but on the left side, you'll see kind of a bold line there on the left. That's the existing berm for the project. I think that agreement was made 10, 15 years ago. That berm has since been constructed, so that's an existing berm. And as you can kind of see, as we're looking on the site plan here, is that we are not impacting that berm. So we have a couple of things going on. We have a 50-foot setback, then we have the berm, and that's undisturbed. And so I just want to point that out, that we are not disturbing the berm. It exists, and we will be fully compliant with that agreement. Again, I think that was agreed to 10, 15 years ago. We will be fully compliant with it. The berm has been constructed already. It's not a new effort. We've also done two things. If you look kind of between the berm and the parking area, we had two residential buildings there. We have completely moved those buildings. We heard concerns of, I may be able to see a building from my home. We heard you, we listened to you, and we moved those buildings closer to Columbiana. So there are no longer residential buildings abutting basically where the neighborhood. So neighborhood, setback, berm, and then we've removed those buildings, really relocated those buildings. So I want to point that out as kind of the second major change. And then the third change is some minor adjustments, and we have Todd Anderson here, who's the town of Irmo's engineer. But since we met in July, SCDOT has signed off on the TIS study. They recommended the same recommendations we had. The major finding from that report, and if we have more questions, Todd is here. The major finding from that report was no roadway improvements. I know that if we come here tonight and say we're not making roadway improvements after we've heard so much about traffic, y'all are going to run us back to Greenville. So we are going above and beyond what the TIS says and adding a couple of things. Let me see if we can show a visual of it. But we have, we're adding a left turn lane, storage lane. So that would be, it's this slide. It kind of shows the, so we'll have a left storage lane, which is westbound into the property. That's getting traffic off of Columbiana for folks making a left turn into the community. We also have a decel lane, a full right-hand decel lane, pulling cars off of Columbiana, pulling into the community. So we have a full right turn lane coming in, and we have a full left turn coming into the property as well. The goal of that, we're maxing out what's in the right-of-way. We're building everything that we can there. And so this improvement is above what the TIS says. Again, the TIS says make some signal changes on timing. That's really the extent of it. We're going above and beyond that and building left turn in, right turn in. And so that has, in the packet, I'm jumping around on you, but in the packet, I actually just put the letter in there from DOT. You can read it directly if there's any concerns on that. It's page 12. But we are going to be fully compliant with the traffic study, and then again, we'll be going above and beyond that. And so I do want to, and I'm jumping around on you, but I do want to just kind of go back to page 9. It's, yeah, there you go. So again, this is a rendering, but it kind of gives you an idea of what that gate looks like. So you got a couple of things going on. You have the Knox box that kind of has the red outline on it. That is only the only.
Excuse me, Seth.
Yes.
Could you explain to the folks what a Knox box is? A lot of people might not know.
Right. So a Knox box is kind of system, and I appreciate you zooming in on that. What that is not. I don't have a key to that. That's a key that emergency only life safety has the ability to use that. So we don't have the ability to open it up and let our friends in. That is something that is closed to the public totally, and then it's completed with that gate. So there's a physical barrier there. Correct. Yes. Much better said. So it is not something that we can open up and close and open up and close. It is the only group that can use it is fire, and it's in emergency only situation. So there is a physical gate there that does not open, and that would restrict a couple of things: pass-through traffic. So if someone was trying to just drive through for some reason, or just resident traffic in the community, they will not be able to drive on Battery. There's going to be a physical gate there that is locked, and fire has access to open it. We do not. So it is totally closed, physically closed as well. And so I did just want to give you, again, that's a visual, kind of gives you an idea of what it would look like. But again, we listen to the community. People walk their kids on the street. I wouldn't want my kids walking around with cars coming in and out, so we are putting a physical gate on Battery as well. Just one last thing. On just kind of, there was a comment on environmental. If you go to page 5, that works too. But essentially, this site was completely scraped. There's a visual of it as a mining operation. So there's it's this one. It's there you go. So I mean, this is a photo from 2015, time-stamped on Google. I mean, the site's completely cleared. So, there was a comment made on taking trees down. If you look at that, we're going to be adding trees. So that's our kind of point that I did want to bring up, as well as, taking kind of in summary, taking a site that is zoned for manufacturing, making it residential, making what we would say is the highest and best use of this site. I don't feel that a totally clear-cut mining site is the best use for the location. And so high-quality housing, market rate with an attainability component is what we're proposing tonight. And happy to take any questions.
Just to be clear, with the revised site plan and retention of the berm, there will be at least a 75-foot buffer at that side.
So there's the code is 50 on the rear back, and then we have, for the rear setback is 50, then there's the berm. Patrick, we would have to measure it, but I mean, it's got to be pretty in excess. Yes.
Yeah, you can look at the scale in the lower right corner. Can't hear you, sir. If you look at the scale in the lower right corner, I don't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head, but you can roughly see that it's well in excess of 75 feet, especially in those areas. The wider area between right there and that area is pretty significant. Also, the smallest area up top is well above 75 feet also.
Thank you.
I'd like a clarification on that. So you're talking about a 50-foot setback. Looking at the site plan, that would be the upper left-hand corner. All right, that would be the tightest window from a setback standpoint, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the parking pad, the parking lot, to the berm, to the beginning of the berm, is that your 50-foot setback?
No, sir. It's 50 feet off the property line. I don't know.
Coming from the other side, from the back line of the property into the berm?
Right. It's 50 feet from the property line to the berm. Then the berm is there, and then it looks like there's probably another 30 feet from the front of the berm to the parking lot.
So you're looking at 80 feet at the least, at the minimum?
Yes, sir.
Only to get larger as it moves down?
Right.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
I don't have any questions at the moment. Yeah.
How long is that left turn lane? How long is it supposed to be? How many cars can sit in it?
There's a distance. If we go back to that drawing, there's a stacking distance in there. It's a standard DOT distance. I believe it's 150 feet or something like that.
How many cars is that, 8?
That'd be about
I don't know.
6.
6? Okay.
Yeah,
Because my concern is that with that left turning, that you're going to get, the traffic is going to back to the light, because it's just not enough room to grab everybody who's wanting to make a left turn into the complex. So that is a concern of mine. But, I don't know if that's going to be true or not, but it is a concern. My other question, switching to the senior residency part of it, what do you see as the floor, so to speak, of the rent that a senior resident can expect to pay coming in? Because, and the reason I'm asking that question is the seniors I'm advocating for are seniors who, again, who have worked basically making South Carolina wages are now on a fixed income and probably aren't collecting $50,000 a year in retirement income. And so I do know personally of folks who have had to leave Irmo, go back and live with children because they can't afford $1,000 in rent. Not because they're low income, because again, I agree with you on the affordability statement. We've got to get out of the mindset that affordability equals some kind of less than status. It's not. It's just that we're, you know, as has been pointed out in other meetings, we're a fast-growing state. People are coming in who can afford what you're proposing, but they earn their money somewhere else, and so they're coming in at higher price points. And nothing against that. I'm advocating for the person who paid their dues here in South Carolina, and they can't afford where we're trending in our housing in this particular town. So that's one of my questions is, okay, you're catering to 55 and over, but are you catering to 55 and over who are struggling with housing?
And I would completely agree with you. We have just a housing crisis in general in the state, and having multiple options at multiple incomes. And so, you know, we're advocates of LIHTC housing and those type of options. As far as what we're proposing here today, our rents will be really dictated to us from Richland County for that 80 to 120. That will change every year. It'll be an annual change. But as far as a floor of it, you know, the floor would probably be about $1,300.
$1,300. So as a senior on a fixed income, that would be what would be shown to me as the rent?
It would change every year. It would based off of your income scale as well. It would also base off, is this a 1-bedroom unit? Is this a 2-bedroom? Is this a 3-bedroom?
Right. I just wanted to
that would probably be like a 2-bedroom type of
okay.
unit. So.
Okay. And then I'm just going down my list here. I do still have concerns about the impact to the neighborhood. I know that you said, hey, we're going to put up the Knox box, and granted, that's traffic on vehicle traffic, but I'm concerned about the foot traffic now that neighborhood might have to encounter that wasn't there before, right? Outside of the deer. It opens up that neighborhood to just elements that currently weren't walking through their neighborhood, or just maybe, I'm not saying they'd be a threat to their children or anything, but we have experience where there's been, you know, property damages by people walking through or past gates and so forth. So that's a concern as well. And just the general environmental impacts. I'm not anti-development, but again, as I've stated before, what I'm looking for is something a little bit more creative, not just a giant complex. I know it's 318 units. I'm going to say that that's going to double, because at 1,300 and above, you're going to have a lot of two-person occupants in these units, because that's a lot of money. So that's all I had to say on it and my questions. Thank you.
Would you like me to address any of those, or?
Yes.
So two things. I do want to talk through foot traffic, and then I'll hand it over on the storage question of, any queuing in the left turn lane, which I believe we have six for the turn lane. But on the foot traffic, I just kind of want to show this visual. This is, the berm runs the property line, so this is just a section of it. But this will, the berm will remain in place per the agreement that is in place that we'll be compliant with. But, just physically, it's multiple feet. There's some sections of it that are, 20, 30 feet in some sections. In the low sections, maybe it's 8, maybe it's 10. But it would not be a fun, enjoyable nature walk to go over that and through those woods that will be, undisturbed. So
I did want to bring that up. And then we can talk through traffic in general for the queuing.
The left turn lane itself, the full storage lane, will hold about 6 vehicles. But then you have the transition area. You know, if it's backing up for some reason, you could fit probably another 3 to 4 in there, if that was your concern. I don't see it backing up unless traffic going the other way towards Lake Murray Boulevard is backed up all the way and there's no place to turn. And then typically people will stop and let you in because they can't go very far anyway, typically. But there should be adequate storage because all they have to do is wait for a gap in that one direction of traffic to turn into the complex.
Just one more thing I wanted to add on the site plan, if we can zoom. Y'all are working hard over there tonight. We did design several off-site parking places along close to Battery there. They're parallel spots. I believe there's 4 or 5 total. But those are additional parking as well in that area, which was a concern that had come up, just parking in general on Battery. And that would be on this. Yes, and that's a good point. The gate is between the community and those parking places, so they would be available to get to, if that makes sense. So the parking would between the property line and the gate, if I'm explaining that okay.
I just want to underscore my previous comments that I'm grateful and thankful that you've taken interest in our town. My concerns are the same, that I would be more likely to welcome this on a larger existing road. Outside of that, the challenge for me is there's no one drop of rain that blames itself for the flood. There's no driver that blames themselves for traffic. And I'm in traffic, I am traffic. And I don't think there's any developer that blames himself for overdevelopment. There's a lot of people here. There's more people here, it feels like, on the roads than there have been ever before, and there's an expectation that more are coming. It's difficult, but I want to thank you for the due diligence that you put into this, and you've clearly sharpened your pencil and tried to make your best effort, and thank you.
Yes, presentation that y'all made, where we invited the community out, listened to all the initial concerns. The project was similar, but significantly different back then. Over the last week, especially, I've heard a lot from citizens. I've taken all those, into them, researched them, had a lot of conversations with y'all. How can we resolve the issues that we heard tonight? Traffic on Battery Road, cars on Battery. I know it's not y'all's fault, but I don't know this. Any car on E, we don't car on Street and below. And traffic from your community, your cut through Battery was a significant issue. I do think that the cut off traffic. Now nobody's going. Additionally, DOT said that there are improvements needed. How to drive that multiple times a day. Understand. Let's say had the right that turn like road because in front of me that turn lane efforts. See the a lot actually back but pick there is a standing for interest of the ability. All of these are 20 That's covers the property. Nasty. Those dark trees you see in the background, I just do, and those very trees, put at the bottom, look for how very dense, and so appreciative that you allowed me to go look at the property. Everybody kept saying, it's in a hole, and so a good project for that place, considering that right now we own light industrial, and I am not a fan of light industrial next to people's houses. I think it would become what I call a good piece that will allow us to continue to have residential living, but it's not single family. So that's my piece. Yep. And I would like to move to amend the pending motion by striking the number 300 in proposed condition 1, inserting the number 318 in place, also striking proposed condition 2 in its entirety, and I can explain that if we get a second. Also adding the verbiage, comma, received and dated August 18, 2026 to the end of proposed condition 3, and also authorizing the renumbering of the remaining conditions accordingly.
Lisa, you want to repeat that back so that you have it? Okay, all right. Okay, so there's been an amendment to the motion. There's been a first, is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion on the amended motion? Okay.
Just to provide detail, striking the number 300 and 318, when this was originally sent over, I think the idea planning commission was 100, maybe minus percent.
From planning, did at percent was allowed included 30 units. They were not comfortable. They never did what or 18. It was the plus minus. Just for the wasn't any site plan or anything that showed.
Okay. So since this project has been at 38, and that's what I recommend the 318. And then striking condition 2 is that ultimately the removing, like the ministry has the right up to 10%, less fewer unit. To the opinion less. That's all. And the verbiage restated 18, that specifically whether this developer or a developer takes it on this project lock to this set and willing by the and whatever they have.
Okay. I just want to do a quick recap. I think we're all concerned, and frankly, other than taking engineers at their word, their technical expertise, I've been around the real estate business a lot, and I've relied on my engineers. An awful lot. And business when change. So you seem to have an amount of we've been with this area. Things. Folks, you stand. Even though the water going to run the back, the rest of that. these are not things that any of us control. You all, and you can of having that. So I just want, we cleared up. I don't, again, this is really a decision. So I'm Lisa.
Mr. Ward.
We're
Are the amendments?
Penfield. Ms. Coleman. Yes. Dr. Walton.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yeah. Go back. I'm going to the original ended. Will you call?
Mr. Ward. Mr.
No.
Coleman. Dr. Walton.
Thank you all. Next item, second reading of ordinance 2016 to amend the zoning ordinance establishing a 12-month waiting period for this resubmission of certain land use and zoning applications following denial of town council, brought by the staff. This ordinance would amend section 12.2 administrative procedures and requirements for the zoning permit and would create a new chapter 12-2.3 to read as provided.
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
Having been appropriately motioned, Nicole, would you like to comment on this, or Jim?
I sure can. This is just the effort that we made where we were receiving some of these submittals. They weren't reaching the point of acceptance by town council. Rather than keep going over this and having unending meetings, if town council decides to vote it down within first reading, it needs to go back to planning commission and substantially change. And then if it gets denied completely at that point, then it is a wait of 12 months. So we don't keep rehearing the same thing over and over and over again.
Okay. Councilor? Nothing? Lisa, will you call?
Yes.
Yes. Dr. Walton.
Yes. Thank you. Reading ordinance 27 to repeal Article 4, Version 4 of the Code of Ordinances. Town also the staff. This would be a committee and have events appropriately administered staff administrative. Motion. Nicole, will you?
You committee very statutory, specifically defined. This allows us to expand that volunteer capacity. It allows us to utilize our events that we've hired full time to better manage the events, set budgets for the events, and manage it internally as staff as directed by the council. And then that would allow us to gain volunteers based on the individual event instead of just having one set of volunteers that has to do all events. So for example, if you are a person who loves skating and you want to get involved in our skate park, that's cool. You don't have to get to the other, you get to all of it. Be able to really balance and energy and specific events.
Any comment? Question? Roll.
Mr. Ward.
Yes.
Mr. Field.
Yes.
Ms. Coleman.
Yes.
Dr. Walton.
Yes. Under new business, resolution 2016, the oath of office of already done that. Please call the roll.
Mr. Penfield.
Yes.
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 Item. Say that one fast. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Have been appropriately. You got the floor again?
Yes. So, part of we've heard flooding of natural that can potentially impact a community in a town. This is Central Midlands, which is our regional planning board. It is their response to that. So it involves both Lexington County, Richland County, our entire jurisdiction area. So Irmo as well as all to recommendations that in that plan, and revision of the plan is available quickly. We will to our.
Please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you. Presentation of citizens. Nobody has signed up. So we're going to move on to discussion. Nothing for discussion. Discuss executive after regarding matters covered by a which containing a complaint against action and follow-up executive possible discuss executive program as permitted. Okay. Thank you, folks. I'll take a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. We're out of executive session. Appreciate everybody staying. No votes, no action was taken in executive session, just legal advice. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.